What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about boot camps. Now a lot of you guys have asked like my opinion on boot camps and what I think of it. So today we're going to be talking through that, right? So how do you use boot camps strategically? And also, what are boot camps and like are they worth it? That's probably the questions you're having right now. So let's kind of like explore how to maximize boot camps if you are gonna take one, and also should you take one in the first place. So before I get started, I want to talk about my journey really quick. So I was a reluctant CS student. My family pushed me into engineering and computer science. So I had hated coding at first, and then I literally in college I did not like coding at all, and I really struggled with being consistent at it. What really changed me was the wake up call. So my friend really said, "Okay, if you don't focus right now, you're gonna have to repeat everything. So just lock in right now. Just do it once. It's gonna hurt, but just do it once, and then you'll be good forever." So that's what led to the turnaround. So I ditched all the distractions. I built apps, I built projects. My grades skyrocketed. So I had failed some classes, and then I got back up. I started to basically take everything seriously, and that kind of led to me being at the position where I am right now. So I landed a job at a top 50 company. So I landed, or sorry, an internship at Verizon, and then this semester I landed an internship at Apple, and then in the summer I'm going back to Verizon for the return offer. So that's what happens when you really put in the hard work and dedication. So I'm going to be kind of sharing how I did it and also how you can do it even if you're going that boot camp route. So let's go ahead and do a boot camp reality check. The myth is you pay a few grand, do like 10 to 12 weeks of either JavaScript or building projects, and then boom, you have a tech job. Now, again, these numbers, few grand is being generous. Some boot camps charge like 10,000, 20,000, and they are maybe like 12 weeks, maybe 6 months, a year, whatever. It's usually longer, and they make you do like front end or like weird ass like Ruby or something like that, like weird languages and frameworks that you'll never use, that are literally not um, prominent in the CS space, but they make you do it to kind of make their boot camp look special or whatever. And sometimes on YouTube you'll see those ads of like people going up to like these random people on the street and being like, "Oh, like how did you like what's your job, like how much do you make?" And then they say, "Oh yeah, I joined this boot camp and I did it." Yeah, that's cap. Most of those are cap. Some of those might be real, we don't know, but most of those I 100% guarantee you are cap, right? So the truth is boot camps alone are overrated. They're just frameworks or accountability machines, right? So ultimately, the boot camps, they are mainly there for like accountability, right? And I'm gonna be going over like how to like overcome that. But the challenge that you'll face is that everyone in your cohort has the same structure, the same portfolio, the same teachings. I get the effort differs from person to person, but most of the time, you'll be doing the same projects with the same people, and those people are going after the same jobs you are. So just think about it for a second logically. Like, okay, do you really think that the boot camp is like bringing you a step further, or it's like leveling you up versus those people as well? So just keep that in mind, okay? Now, what makes boot camps valuable? So I trash talk them so much, but let me kind of say, okay, they're not all that bad, right? They are good in some aspects. So boot camps have structured schedules, so you have daily accountability that keeps you on track with the clear milestones that you need. and then you're learning alongside peers, which creates a sense of community, and it gives the motivation and the support that you need sometimes to kind of, finish that extra project or do that extra assignment. And then there's also career support, so resume reviews and interview prep, that provide the valuable guidance that you may have not gotten in the past or that you kind of lack. So that'll help you as well. And now I want to say, okay, if you, let's say you are taking the bootcamp route, what do you do on how to stand out? So, my first piece of advice, and I know it sounds cliche, it sounds like it's generic, it's like duh, but it's to do projects. Now, with projects, you're gonna have some projects to do in your boot camp. If they are like, certain like built-in projects that you have to do, like for example like a tic-tac-toe game you have to do to graduate from the boot camp, then by all means finish that tic-tac-toe game and kind of like learn, use that as kind of a guide, to help you, right? And then, my first piece of advice is to, if you're trying to elevate your presence beyond just the boot camp, then to do this, you want to go ahead and create meaningful projects. So don't just build another to-do app as everyone else, or don't just copy and paste projects, from like everyone else, right? You want to solve real problems. So like for example, if you love Discord, you can create like a Discord bot for study groups, or like a habit tracker for students, or maybe, you like sports, so maybe something like related to sports, or maybe you like fashion, maybe something related to fashion, just choose whatever hobby you have. It can be anything, right? Like, you can have a hobby of art, you can like plants, you can like gardening, you can like kickboxing, like whatever you like. Just create something that kind of benefits you or someone else. Yeah, someone else who, also really love that thing as well, right? And then you want to go ahead and document the process as you're doing it. So writing a compelling, readme document, or maybe just like jotting down, okay, here's my structure of my project, here's what I'm gonna do, here's how I'm gonna do it, here are the languages and frameworks I'm using, and then here's my target audience, here's my, end result I'm getting to. So kind of documenting it before you even start kind of makes it more authentic and more, official, right? So you can post it on GitHub. If you don't know what that is, no problem, just stick through with me. I'll have some more videos out about that. But yeah, so that's kind of the first piece of advice I have, is to create meaningful projects that solve real problems. Now let's go beyond the classroom learning. So you will have learning inside of the classroom, inside of the boot camps, but how do you accelerate further? Well, you can do some freelance work. So you can, build some landing pages or, scrapers for real clients. So literally just go to either Upwork or Fiverr, and you can create a listing on there. It literally takes, I think, 15 to 20 minutes. You might not get any work, and that's okay. You have to market yourself a little. You can do so by social media, and again, like if you built personal projects, so this is all a flywheel, okay? So if you built those personal projects, or if you're working on a personal project and you document that, maybe you post it on X or Instagram or, TikTok or something, it doesn't, you don't have to put your face on it, or you don't have to like explain yourself. You can literally just jot down your thoughts, or like what you worked on today, like build in public. And then, you can kind of plug in your freelance work as well, like, from Fiverr or Upwork, like just plug in your profile, your work profile onto your social media, and then you can market that way. So you can start off with like simple landing pages, or creating design or whatever you're into, right? And that can be done, on with freelance work, and you might not be aiming for the money, you're going for the experience. So something else you can do is you can work for free as well. So I know it sounds stupid. You're first of all, you're losing money with the boot camp, and then now you're working for free. I know it sounds weird, but hear me out. um, Working for free gets you that experience, and then it also builds your portfolio at the same time, so you can kind of reach out to other companies with that experience and kind of help yourself out even more with that, right? Okay, I spoke a lot on freelance work. I'm sorry. I'm really passionate about this one because it kind of like gives you that autonomy to build up your skills while, doing some work, maybe earning some extra income as well. Next, I have algorithm practice. This one's a little bit more advanced, and you might have to wait until you're really comfortable with a programming language. So the programming language I suggest is Python, because you can also practice leak code with it. So if you don't know what leak code is, just search up literally leakcode.com, and it's the first website. It's basically a platform where you can learn, or you can do these coding exercises that will help you build your coding proficiency. But I recommend you stay away from this if you are not that advanced. If you're not intermediate to advanced, then stay away from it, because it will discourage you, because the problems on there are very hard. I'm not gonna lie, like even the easiest problems, like you can try one just to attempt it, but I'm telling you, like even after doing like internships, even after doing 3 years of college, all of that, it's still hard for me. Like the easy problems are still difficult for me. So if you've never coded a single line in your life, then yeah, it'll be almost impossible for you as well. So again, don't get discouraged. Everyone struggles with it, so don't be worried. um Community involvement. So you can volunteer as a study buddy or teaching assistant. So look for, um, again, like side things. Maybe like a university needs like a teaching assistant, or like a high school or middle school needs like a substitute teacher for a coding class, stuff like that. Just reach out, or volunteers, right? Volunteering is free as well. Again, you're just trying to build the experience without having the experience, right? So that's kind of what we're aiming for here. um, and then the network building, right? So you want to join meetups and reach out for coffee chats. This can be done through like social media and like some Discord servers or some Reddit groups, or like even on like X or something like that. Like any social media, any social platform usually has people who are willing to like meet you or do stuff. Like even if it's just like a Zoom call, that's still networking at the end of the day. And basically, if you want to learn more about these types of stuff, then you can reach out to people who are where you want to go. So let's say you want to be like a software engineer, just reach out to different software engineers, like even if it's not like Google or Apple or Amazon engineers, but if it's like genuinely, you know, like people who are engineers or like engineers, right? At the end of the day, if you're an engineer, you're an engineer. Like there's different quality, different companies, all of that. But if you want to be where they are right now, then just talk to them, learn about their journey, how did they get there, and you can eventually copy some of those moves as well. So I know I talked a lot, but the bottom line is your success, right? So let's go from bottom up, okay? So you want to treat the boot camps like training wheels, not a crutch. So they organize your learning, but you build your success outside of those walls, okay? And the foundation that you have is, the boot camp will give you the basic foundation, the basic skills and the structures that you need to kind of introduce you and get your feet wet in coding. Then you have to take your personal initiative. You have to do your projects, you have to do the freelancing if you can, you have to do the networking if you can. Again, at the end of those, I say if you can. And I think you should, but again, not everyone has that luxury of having some extra time to spare, or maybe you're not that disciplined or motivated to do it, then that's fine, you know. But again, whatever output you want, you have to give in that effort of input to get it, and then ultimately your success will come. It will come if you work hard, if you work on the right things, if you follow the advice I'm giving you. I promise. If you use the resources I have, top link in the description, by the way, it's completely free. Then your success will come. That's inevitable. You just have to put in the work. So make sure that you set clear goals. So make sure you define your target. I want to land a junior dev within the next 3 months. Again, clear, state clear initiative, clear timeline, and then schedule the extra work, right? So block out time for projects, the freelance work, the networking, and then eventually leak code as well. Then track your progress. Okay, this is the biggest thing that I recommend you do. Is if you are new to all of this is what personally helped me as well, is to track the progress. So if you're ever unmotivated or unsure, or if you're having that imposter syndrome, you can always go back and you can be like, oh yeah, this, so I was at step 1 or step 0, now I'm at step 4 or step 5. This is insane. I know more than I did when I first started. So then that'll make you want to keep going and learn more, because you'll look back in the future, you'll be like, oh yeah, I was stuck at step 4 or 5, now I'm at step 20, you know. So document this, and this can be done with maybe like a simple tracker. So like document some project milestones, like document what you did each day to get towards your goals. Maybe the number of problems solved on leak code, maybe the number of applications sent, all of that, right? So again, this video just gave like a brief overview of boot camps, and like how to make them worth it. At the end of the day, you don't need a boot camp to get a job. In my opinion, they do help. If you use them right, they will help. If you don't have an option to get a college degree or to go back to school, then definitely a boot camp might be your best bet. But it's not the only thing that will basically hand you the job, right? It's not gonna be handed. Unfortunately, it's not gonna be. So yeah, with that being said, um, use the bootcamp as a guide, right? And then build a meaningful projects. So create solutions that showcase your skills. So whatever skill you learn, implement it and show it off. And then launch your career. So apply, network, and never stop learning. So if I could turn my mess into internships and eventually a full-time offer, then you can too. So start building, start applying, and make your bootcamp just one piece of your bigger plan. And if you need the steps that I followed, or like how I got here, then check out the top link in the description, completely free. And yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one.